Welcome to Soccer As We Like It, the Man United direction. And today we're talking football, we're talking preseason, we're talking tours, and we are talking transfers. We're going to talk about what your team is doing, where they are, and how close are you to be ready for the new season, which starts in 7 days from now. Right, joining us from the Chelsea crew is Rodrigo, representing Chelsea. Rodrigo, welcome to the show, mate.
What's going on, guys? I hope everybody's doing well.
Good, good. Representing the United crew from Tampa is Devin, smiling and positive. Nice.
How are you? Thank you so
How
much
are you,
for having
mate?
me on.
We have the painter from UK, Vimo. How are you, mate?
Very good. I've forgotten my paintbrush today.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm sorry, but you can always find it. And also representing us from UK is Kay, always gleaming, happy, positive, nice one. Kay, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right, we're gonna quickly jump right into it. We all just seen Community Shield in UK has ended. Liverpool have joined the battle line. First trophy, they beat Man City 3-1. So, how was it? Was Liverpool that good, or City that bad, or just a team that took its chances?
I would say it was a team. The teams took their chances.
Hey!
They both had opportunities right now. Actually, I do honestly believe Nunez was a game changer in that game because Liverpool's two last goals were, the first one was he obviously headed the ball across the goal, which VAR check revealed it to be a handball in the box. So that's how Salah got his penalty. And then of course he scored at the end. So I actually would give the first blood, and we have the Nunez versus Haaland debate. Right now it's going to Nunez. And Haaland missed an absolute sitter at the end of that game. I'm sure it's gonna be on highlights everywhere coming up soon. So.
Right. Well, the season's about to start in 7 days, actually. Next Saturday, the Premier League starts. Man United's first game is on Sunday against Brighton. Rodrigo, who do you start with? Do you know?
Jeez, I don't even know. I forgot it was starting so quickly.
Yeah, it's next week. The Premier League starts next week.
I forget that August is around the corner, man.
Yeah, the championship started today.
The championship game starts today.
I think Chelsea, I'll tell you who Chelsea plays. Everton next Saturday at 11:30.
Damn.
Everton.
So at Everton?
Yep.
So you're away. So you're going to go see Lampard. Okay. Yep. How ready are Chelsea now? Are they ready, or there's still more tweaks? You still want to buy some more players? If you say today now, are Chelsea ready for that game? Are they ready for the season?
No. They missed out on Koundé. Barcelona got him.
Woo.
They need some holes to fill up. We talked about the last couple of times. I guess the problem is now they don't have Maria Konopskaya to make those negotiations and bring in those players. It's a different crowd now. Right. Do these guys have someone who knows about football, be able to get the players they need? Because I know Tuchel says he still needs some players. So
Woodward and Matt Judge, they are available because they've left United.
Aren't you happy?
I'm happy, but they're available for you. Trust me, they will do a great job. You'll be a great commercial asset. Trust me.
Woodward is sniffing for that job, by the way. So.
Yeah, he's looking around to get the Chelsea job.
Yeah.
Trust me, mate.
He's taken over for Marina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your club will be so well known.
We're laughing, but stupider things have happened.
Yeah, it's true. The world of football is another level. You'll be surprised that Chelsea sign up Woodward and Matt Judge as a combo.
We'll have we'll have Maguire, we'll have Pogba, we'll have all of you rejects in Chelsea.
Right. On the United side, you've got United played the game today against Atletico. First half was okay, but when I said it, if you don't take your chances, you don't score, you don't win. It is that simple. And the difference was Atletico done what they need to do. 1-0, called their night. Devin, when you saw the game, you were happy with the performance in the first half. Chances, quickly summarize that for me quickly. In your vision.
Was very interested in this game. I thought that we were going to lose by a lot more higher of a margin.
Really?
I was actually very curious as to how the team would adapt to a team that plays Atletico style, as well as putting up with all the antics that we know Atletico was famous for. Apparently, they didn't even hold back in a friendly with the antics. We all know how that goes with constant fouling hard. The second you go back in on them, all of a sudden they roll across the pitch. Like they're only like a couple shades lower than Neymar when it comes to that. So I was actually quite impressed that we were playing pretty well. You pretty much hit the nail on the head. We didn't take our chances when we did, and Atletico is famous for just playing their style and 1-0, just squeeze by, get the win. But guess you know what? At the end, you score more goals. Doesn't matter if it's only one. You could have 2% possession, but if you score in that time, fine. You get the victory at the end of the day,
100%.
and that is exactly what they did. They had pretty much one good chance, and they took it. So that to me was
That's all it takes, mate. That's all it takes.
I thought Fred. I would have said Fred would have been man of the match. Like after watching that first half, because at the end of the first half, I thought he was playing really well.
In the first half, he was a bit of a hatchet man. You know,
I was loving it though. It was like
loving it. It saw a bit of red.
That was in the second half. But you know what? It's you got to have somebody to stick up to. You got to have somebody to take the bullet for the team. If another team's going to be pulling up, doing the antics that Atletico is famous for, you know what? Somebody's got to go and give it right back to them. So I am not disappointed with that, to be very honest. McTominay had a challenge on Oblak as well too.
That nearly led to a brawl. I thought I was going to give him a stone cold stunner at that point.
And again, we didn't take our chances. I thought Eriksson had a very good cameo. Oh, his deliveries were, oh my God, they were really good today. Like there were two good balls that I saw him put in. One was to Alanga, but I think Rashford got on it, and the other one was the one that Maguire had the header that he should have scored on.
Should have scored.
With the size of his head, yeah, that should have been on target.
Right, Vimo, you only saw the first half. When you saw the first half, what was your take on what you saw from the first half?
So I was making a comparison to the team that we put out against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, and this was a very different team, a much better team. The way they were keeping the ball, nice, tighter passing, pressing well, and giving some problems to Atletico. So it was a completely different team. Even though the personnel hasn't changed much, you can see the coaching methods are much better now. I think it was a much better performance compared to what we saw last season. I reckon that if Martial had a good game, I reckon that if he had better not only that, but better wingers next to him, better attacking third, so instead someone is in place of Elanga and Rashford, I reckon we could have won that game. I think they were a little bit lacking today. Rashford again, it feels like he's lost his talent or something. I don't think we'll ever see that Rashford that we saw burst onto the scene in the beginning. I just think his talent is gone. I think we need to replace that left wing with someone else, or give him some competition, something to think about. Okay. Elanga, we know works hard, but he just lacks maybe a little bit of quality. He had a beautiful pass inside the box, and he just his shot was tame.
The shot was tame because I think it was because Bruno gave it to Rashford. Rashford just laid it on the plate for him. And Oblak was lucky to be in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what.
But you know, when you're in that position, don't hit it to the keeper. Go for the corners.
Yes.
You know, and that's where a true professional knows what to do. They don't panic under pressure. Right. They know what to do. They slot it in the corners. A young guy or someone's panicking a little bit, just scuffs it, hits it at the keeper. Right. And a lot of the shots coming off Rashford were really weak, very tame. He's lost his trickery. He'd go down to that left wing and he just loses the ball. He just used to fumble it all the time.
That twice.
Yeah, so I think there needs to be stronger competition in those areas. What happened to Sancho, by the way?
He's sick.
He was sick.
Sick. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Man United 0, Atletico Madrid 1. What was your take on that game, mate? Can't hear you.
You're muted.
It's on mute.
Yeah, first 5-10 minutes, we struggled. They were pressing the life out of us, and then we settled down, got into the game. But I was impressed with the way we played. It's just, I think the main thing was the strength in depth on the bench. We missed Sancho massively. And yeah, it's just we're a work in progress. I wasn't expecting us to pull up trees. To get that system and to get that philosophy across, it's going to take at least 10 games at least. So I was pleased, but obviously Ericsson coming on with his cameo, he made more chances than anyone on the pitch in 20 minutes. So he was a positive. That's the difference between Bruno and him. He knows what to do, when to do it, and he's efficient. Where Bruno's a bit
all over the place.
Sometimes. So hopefully Bruno will learn from that. Malacia, great.
I thought the fullbacks played well, actually.
Yeah, yes, they did.
Luke's going to struggle, I think. But yeah, Lindelof and Maguire. Maguire had a decent game, but I think Martinez is going to come in left side of centre back, and Elanga just showed that first season he came on and did something because no one knew about him. Second season, people know what he's about, so he's going to find it a lot hard. Second season syndrome. So yeah, it just shows today that the strength and depth in our squad's nowhere near where it needs to be. Yeah, if you look at our bench today, yeah, it was terrible. 5 subs for next week, and it's not looking good.
Well, what did you think of Lindelof?
I think he was caught out a few times because when they scored the goal, it was between Lindelof and Dalot down that side, and the guy, I think the guy I thought was going to shoot, the guy just looked for a sharp corner, and that.
I think that De Gea thought that Dalot was going to block the shot from Felix. Because if you look, you see like Dalot kind of looks like he almost like dives out of the way, and if he had stayed where he was, he would have blocked that shot. So Felix, well played Felix to slot it in that angle. It worked. Yeah. But I think De Gea again was thinking, okay, he's going for a corner.
Right. So United have lost their first game.
Did that João Felix goal go through Lindelof's legs, or who was it?
No, Dalot. It was Dalot.
It was Dalot. Okay, Dalot. Because I'm really not convinced about Lindelof. He just looks so timid. His positioning is all off. It just seems wrong.
It's interesting you say that because I would argue that about Elanga, that his spacing is off.
But you got to remember, last season Lindelof was playing on the right side. Maguire's on the right side now, so I think the chemistry, they're struggling for the chemistry and stuff like that.
Right. Wow. So, Rodrigo, I just saw your game. That's what I was looking when we were talking. I was looking at your game against Udinese. What this guy? He might be a very big buy. He's still running through players. What's his name? Oh God. The guy from Man City. What's his name?
Sterling.
Yeah.
It's going to be the buy of the season
because he still has that ability to just he takes the ball and just drives at teams. He runs over Iron Robin, just drives at you.
Yeah.
And I saw him doing that yesterday. I just watched it now, and he was really just driving the team forward. It seems like a buy. Rodrigo, your take?
Well, what you ask for a player like that is consistency, right? You want him to play like that most games, and he's got the skill, he's got the dribble for it. I've always liked that of him. I've always admired that of him. But again, you want you want consistency, and I think it's one thing he struggled with from time to time. Especially in those big games when you play against Liverpool, when you play against you guys, and when you play in Europe, you're going to be tested. So it's a great player. I think it was a great acquisition, but let's just hope that he can stay consistent.
Yeah.
If you saw Chelsea last season, they win 3 games, they lose a game they should have won, right? Then they'll win again, and they'll lose a game they should have won, or they tie a game they should have won. And again, it goes back to things holes that need to be plugged, and things and positions that need to be adjusted better. So we'll see what happens. But like I told you last time, wait and see.
Right. Right. I'm gonna the United fan. Yeah,
by the way, do you know where Raheem Sterling grew up?
He grew up in Wembley or
in my area. In my area. He's my neighbour.
Wow.
But not literally my neighbour. He's in my area.
You grew up in
both grew up in Wembley Stadium shadow, in the arch, underneath the arches. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, and he went to the same school where my brother and sister went. Literally 200 meters down the road from me.
But
Wembley boy.
I actually would not say that he's going to be the buy of the season. I think it's going to be Gabriel Jesus, to be very honest.
Gabriel
Does
Jesus
he?
for Arsenal. He
Yes,
seems to be
I
doing well.
I really think so, actually, because originally I had Martial in my fantasy side, and I just took him out to bring in Jesus because Martial looks a little shaky with the injury today, and Jesus looks
Yeah.
on fire right now. So I'm like, all right, yeah.
It's the same way he started in Man City. Started out running
Exactly.
everything up, and look how he ended up.
The pressure's on. When the season starts, there's a different pressure.
Well,
It's
at least
it's funny you mentioned that, Devin.
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
'cause
I know I
I
can
put
count him
Haaland
until
in
the
my
World
team.
Cup. I know that I can count him at least till the World Cup because they're all gonna be firing until then.
Right, United fans. Devin, yes, when you saw United today, are they ready for the season to start? What you saw today, it looks like that starting 11 might start against Brighton. Probably with difference between Sancho and probably whatever.
Martinez. Well, yeah. What I do think they are. It's what I am curious about. It's going to be the midfield.
Right, because
So,
we're still
and what-
starting
and-
McFred.
So what I've been going through this back and forth in my head so many times right now, because obviously when Martinez came in, he played center back in that closed door friendly, I think it was, and so apparently he played well there. But I'm also hearing that he can play defensive mid as well, and so I am wondering if for his first game out that he's going to start in that spot, because I do know he's going to start either as a center back or a defensive midfielder. That's the one thing that I cannot figure out yet.
Right.
The other thing that I'm curious about now is what type of reception Ronaldo's going to get next week.
I don't think you get bad reception. I don't think so. I really don't. Because think about it, I was listening to what's his name, Goldberg. Yesterday, I said Goldberg. Who's the wrestler? Goldbridge. Sorry.
Goldberg.
I know, right? I've been looking at too many classic WWE fights. So, Goldbridge said, and I watch his channel just to hear updates sometimes, we just hear a bit and see where he is. And he went off on one guy sent him a chat saying, Ronaldo should leave the club. He's rubbish. Goldbridge said, your opinions, take it up your ass, shove it and shit it out. I thought, God damn, this guy's brutal. He was finishing people. He said this: if Ronaldo, who's achieved that much for this club, is booed, then why is Rashford not booed when he said he wanted to leave? He wanted to transfer last season when under Rangnick. He said,
it's
imbalance.
not even that. Look at Harry Kane. He didn't even turn up to training last season. Look what he did for Tottenham. There's players that have done this before.
I
Roy
doubt
Keane,
Ronaldo. Anybody who thinks anyone who wants to boo Ronaldo needs to have their head examined. I know it is what it is, but honestly, I don't think he should be booed. There's no reason.
The reason why I bring that up is, do you remember the Rooney saga when Rooney was trying to get his new contract and he was getting booed?
Yeah.
And then the only reason why the boo stopped because he scored that overhead kick.
Yeah.
So
Leo Ferdinand was getting booed when he was thinking.
What I think is going to happen, it might be a mixed reception in the crowd, but as soon as he starts scoring goals, all will be forgiven. Like that. That is what I think.
He's playing tomorrow.
Yeah, he's playing tomorrow. So.
I think it's going to be a muted response for him because he's still up in the air, isn't it? And people will feel a bit betrayed, a little bit betrayed.
He's past that. He doesn't give a damn. He
doesn't give a damn. But
when I said don't give a damn, like you could boo him. I
don't think he'll get booed. I think it won't be as much cheering. It'll be a bit more muted.
Right.
Look what Oli was doing last season. He wasn't even getting booed until it got so bad. So Ronaldo's not going to get booed, just for you. Like, you might have one or two, but he'll get drained out with the cheers.
So, Vimo, you saw the first half. From what you saw today, are United ready for the season?
Yeah. I think we need to start cracking on because you can see they're subscribing.
With that team.
Well, I'd like to see a couple more additions. I don't know. Everyone's talking about Sesko.
I'm coming to
I've seen one highlights video of him. I see him do a lot of chops. Chop, but I ain't seen him score many goals. He's a big guy though.
6'4".
He can be 6'4". Yeah, he can improve. But I think we need a couple of additions. I do, again, like Devin said, I'm worried about that midfield because with McFred, there's not enough talent there to bring the ball out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'd like to see Eriksen and Bruno perhaps fit into the same team and play alongside each other because I think there's a lot of talent there. But I would like to see one of that half of McFred replaced, and I think it's going to be McTominay.
Right.
I just I know he's a bit of a hatchet man. He seems to
Oh,
be.
no, he went off today. He just literally went off.
Well, he was up for it, wasn't he? He was up for
Like
a fight.
I said, I thought
he
it was
went
going to be
for
a
the
full
ball,
blow.
and
The
he
keeper
elbowed.
went into him actually. Or he
Yeah, but it was a soft elbow. It didn't even hit his face. But Atletico Madrid, as I said before,
over the
they're
top.
specialists in the dark arts.
Yes.
They always do it. They've always done it to us. They feign injury. They roll over.
Kill
they do
time.
Neymar's. They do the 20-man roll from Neymar. All this stuff. And they love to kick us. They love to hack us and get away with it. And they get away with so many fouls. But they went as soon as you touch them, just a little ping of folk. Oh, it's like they've been shot. They're specialists in dark arts, and they were up to it today. So,
and this is a friendly. This is the second friendly game of this. They just literally started the preseason.
That was exactly what I was saying before too. Where even in a friendly, they're doing their antics.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's their philosophy. That's the way they play. It's instinctive for them. They don't change it.
But is that from the coach or is that Atletico Madrid?
It's from the
It's
coach.
from Simeone because
Simeone
he's
did that
Remember
Argentinian.
Simeone when he played?
Petulance. He's just petulant.
Do you not remember him getting Beck sent off in the World Cup?
He's at 98.
Yes. Yeah,
So
I don't like that. I really don't like that football.
Simeone was a dirty player.
Yeah, he was a
Dirty
dirty
player,
player.
And so
That's the point.
When
he's created a dirty team.
When he played,
A dirty team who are very rugged and hard to beat.
he was a very good player, but he was a dirty player.
Yeah,
Was he a
but
defender or
that needs
midfielder?
to be removed from the game. If he's a dirty player and then he's built a dirty team, it needs to be chopped back. You can't allow this to go on.
No,
It's
but
the game.
football is football. These players come from the street. That's what makes our football exciting.
I don't agree with cheating.
You can't beat your little knees. Oh no, he's
No. I don't agree with cheating. That's what it is. It's cheating.
No,
You play fairly or you don't play.
I don't like any players who dive.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
like any
cheating.
diving players. I didn't
What
like.
about if somebody taps you and you start rolling over?
For a long time, I didn't like Cristiano Ronaldo because he was a diver. Drogba, one of my favorite players from Chelsea. Drogba was a diver.
Oh, Drogba was a diver. Oh my God, that guy used to dive like he'd been shot. Iron Robin's another one. Oh God.
But don't you think?
Iron Robin should be in the Olympics in diving.
But don't you think that this was introduced to our game over a number of years?
Yeah.
It introduced the game over a decade by crappy refereeing.
Yeah, that's it.
Weak referees.
It's not easy to referee.
And what happens
it
is
ain't.
It's not easy. I've refereed as well, and when you're trying to referee 22 people.
No, because back in the old days, when you dove like that, the referee hey, come on, get up, quit being sissy, come on, get up.
Yeah.
Referee didn't put up with that. He said, get up, come on. He go, come on. But weak referee, he fell that yellow card. That's what happened.
So
In the old days when I watched football, you dove, you were a disgrace.
we need to bring back that bald-headed
Yes.
Italian guy. What's his name? Perlucci. Yeah.
So Rodrigo,
Yeah.
how did you guys lose out to Barca Koundé, a team that can't even pay players? How did Koundé decide to go to Barca instead of Chelsea? I didn't see that.
And we talked about this. Barca can't play players. They leverage their assets so they have money. All right. Man United pray that Man United don't do that because your owners are leaking your club with money. You may have to, hopefully you want to do that one day. All right. But what happens is, Koundé just wasn't impressed with Tuchel, wasn't impressed with what he had to offer. Koundé
And go to Barca that's unstable? Really?
No, because Barca is building a solid team, and they can pay the players now. They can pay the players now because they leverage their assets. What Barcelona did is this. Okay, very few teams can do this. Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, those big teams who make millions outside of income from marketing, TV rights, right, stadium rights. You leverage that. Say, okay, let's say for example, Tim London FC. You need money because whatever reason, right? You're making money from your TV rights. You make money from merchandise. You make money from marketing. You're going to sell me I'm going to give you money up front that you need, but you're going to sell me for the next 15 years. I have 10% of those earnings, right? See what I'm saying? So you're leveraging future earnings for like in a cash advance to pay the
Right.
bills you need or to strengthen your squad. Now, Barcelona have no choice. They have to be competitive. They have no choice, or what? A, they're not going to attract sponsors. TV rights will go down because once the team starts going away like that, you lose that. So they have no choice.
So
they
they
have
bought.
to leverage.
So they
They have
bought
to leverage.
Kunde. They bought Kunde. They
Yeah.
bought Lewandowski.
Lewandowski. They got Anderson also from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, damn,
Well, actually, question, don't they?
And there's still Aspilicueta and Marco Alonso. They may still go.
Yeah.
To Barca.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's in the works. It's in the works.
Barca's a big club.
So
you get that, Barca's
Barca
still a
building a
big
team
club.
like they want to win the Champions League. My goodness.
They have to. Because you understand, Barca needs to rebuild the image because they've been losers in Europe for the last 4 or 5 years. They have to rebuild that image, right? They have for them to start earning big again. They have to win Champions League, and they need players to do it. They can't. They gotta get rid of Piqué. They gotta get rid of Busquets. Their defense is crap. They have no choice. This is why Barcelona is taking the initiative to sell, to leverage future incomes for upfront money so they can A, pay down their debt, B, buy players they desperately need. They didn't have the squad to be able to compete in Europe.
So why don't they just sell Frankie de Jong then and get it over and done with?
There's with Frankie de Jong, right? His manager wants more money, but Frankie doesn't want to leave Barca because very few teams will pay him the salary he's getting at Barcelona. That's the
thing
problem.
with Frankie de Jong. They
Frankie de Jong,
Go on, Kay.
Frankie de Jong just has not proven himself to be worthy of such a high salary.
Yeah, the thing with Frankie de Jong is they owe him 17 million from the COVID era, and that's over the length of his contract. So if he leaves, he'll have to forfeit that. But
they're asking him
a wage cut as well.
You're asking him to wait another year, 2 years, and they'll still repay him because what they'll do is they'll pay him from other things, from other bonuses. They'll make it up to him. He just got to stay, but he's wanting more money.
Yeah.
Right? But Barca says, I can't because we have a salary limit in La Liga. If we go with a limit, we can't register any players. This is why they have to let Messi go. Why they have to let Griezmann go?
So he wants more than 350k a week.
Yes.
No, he wants to stay on it. He wants to stay on that salary, but they're telling him to.
Oh, he wants more money. He wants more money.
So why would he take a pay cut for 2 years?
It's not a pay
They
cut.
all took a pay cut. Most of them all took a pay
No,
cut.
it's not a pay cut. It's a deferred. It's a deferred payment where you get paid from other avenues within a year or two. So they're not going to lose anything. They're saying right now, so we can put players in the league, register them because of the salary cap laws in La Liga. They have to do that. So they got to find ways around it. But what happens with De Jong is he just wants more money.
Did Griezmann go back to Atletico?
He's on loan. He's only on loan as well.
Yeah, I think he's on loan. I don't know if he's on.
You know what? He goes back to Atletico and he's worthless. He hasn't scored any goals with him. He's just,
Ah.
That's good.
Oh, jeez. Right.
No,
Let's keep it moving.
This is
They have a long list of people. Like, they still owe Messi 100 million. They owe PK 40 million.
Oh,
They owe players.
PK took a pay cut because of his big mouth.
Yeah.
He said, I'll do whatever the club needs. If I have to step aside, I'll step aside. The reason he took a pay cut, so he wouldn't be cut. That's the reality.
Yeah.
Remember when they lost to Bayern Munich, he was saying, if I got to step aside, but this club, this is my club. Yeah, it's okay. Either you take a pay cut.
He wants to be president eventually, doesn't he?
God help Barcelona to get that idiot president. But that's the rule of football today and stuff. The finances and the politics that are involved in football today.
Right. Devin, Man United are looking to replace. I mean, obviously, this week they've been talking about a guy called Sesko. He is 19, 6'4", played for Salzburg. Salzburg in Germany? Yeah. And he's 19. He's got good feet. I've watched a few clips. I know they're just clips. He's got two good feet to a point. People say, is he the next Peter Cech? Is he the next Lukaku? I don't know. From your take, quickly, have you watched any of his clips?
So I heard his name get tossed around a little bit. I watched a little bit and I thought, okay, it could be something. And then I saw when he scored the winner against Liverpool in the preseason. I'm like, okay, All right, you're starting off strong already. It could be a good buy depending on what the price is. And above all else, I like it because it's somebody that's young and it's somebody that can bring competition to Martial.
Okay. Vimo, Sesko.
Again,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, how you?
Yeah. I never heard of this guy until he was his name was touted around. So it makes you wonder, are people or agents or PR pushing his name around to increase his value? Because they're trying to shift the player, or is he a real natural talent that no one's heard of until now?
Exactly.
I've seen a couple of videos. He is good on the ball. I haven't seen him bang in that many goals. I don't know what his goal ratio is at his previous club. But I feel there is a bit of an element of price pushing. They're trying to get his value up and
Right.
then see who they can get the best bids from. But someone said that they're probably recycling within the Red Bull franchise. So let's see what happens.
Okay, Sesko. The man to replace Ronaldo.
Like Vimal said, he's the guy that no one knew about him a week or two ago. So for me, I want to know how long they've been scouting him. He looks all right, but in a clip, in a YouTube reel, anyone can look good. It's about getting the value for money. So I don't know. It's like we've just left it so late as per usual. Like we just.
Is he the guy to replace Ronaldo?
Nah, no one can replace Ronaldo at the moment. That we can get anyway.
19-year-old.
Yeah. Like,
A bit of a responsibility.
We're gonna end up doing like an Igalo move again.
Oh Jesus, no.
Yeah.
Could you imagine asking Igalo to come back?
Yeah. But we've known we've needed a striker, even if Ronaldo was staying. We needed at least another striker.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I
always liked Igalo though. He's a Man United fan, and he loved the club. But he just got treated with disrespect from the management.
So
He wanted to
his
play.
heart was in the right place.
Igalo.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think his heart was in the right place. He gave 100% every
Yeah.
time. But unfortunately, he just wasn't skilled enough. But don't get me wrong. I bought his shirt. I love seeing someone who actually wants to play for the badge, who's a fan, who's out there and gives 100% every
So
time.
he's a proper number 9. He's a real poacher. If you saw him at Watford,
Yeah.
he was brilliant. He was brilliant for that company. He was one of the top players there.
But
That guy was poaching goals all the time.
Same thing.
But now, funnily enough, Van Gaal wanted to sign him.
Van Gaal.
Van Gaal wanted to sign
But that's-
Igalo, Mane, and someone else, and the board said no. And look at what happened to Mane and the Igalo.
Mane. I mean, Mane would. Yeah, I know we were going after Mane, and my God, what a player he would have been for us. But I think Liverpool improved him. I think he would have struggled with our
He did
squad.
well at Southampton in a average team. He stood out a bit, yeah. But when he went to Liverpool, did you know he's got the full collection? Community Shield, League Cup, FA Cup, Champions League, European Super Cup, World Club Championship. He's done.
AFCON.
Yeah,
And
but
African Cup of Nations.
you put him next to Pogba, Lingard, and some others. What would he have done at Man U?
He would have done well at United. He's a ball carrier as well.
Yeah, but
ball carriers.
when your other teammates don't always make an effort, and they get up to all their antics and they down tools, you're going to do it as well. And I think he would have been affected by that.
Look at, I'll say to everyone, watch Pogba when he was under Mourinho, what he was doing. Remember Dembele that was at Tottenham? I remember the Tottenham game. Dembele, you couldn't get the ball for. He was barging Dembele off the ball, keeper. It's once Mourinho left and he fell out with him.
Yeah,
Pogba, his game changed, and he started to get away with things, and the manager wouldn't cut it out. Whereas Mourinho was like, do this, do that.
Rodrigo,
and those two clashed heads, didn't they?
Yes,
Pogba and Mourinho.
Yes.
Because remember Pogba and Matic when and Zlatan when they were all there.
Yeah.
We were a different team.
Yes, because Mourinho likes that a big spine through the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rodrigo, what's the latest with Kante? Is he leaving? Is he going? Is he staying?
I hear both ways, and Chelsea's not letting him go. That yada yada yada. And this manager just going. Who knows, man? Who knows?
Do you want him to stay?
Oh, I like him, man. He's the reason Chelsea won the Champions League last year. N'Golo Kante. I've always liked this style of play.
Guys, would you take Kante United, Vimo?
Yeah.
Def, I'm not sure I would take him now. I think he's past it.
You
He's too
wouldn't
old.
take him without
He's a-
midfield.
No, not
Not
right
now.
now.
Not now.
How old
I think
is
he's
he?
too old. I think he's too old. I think Kante was brilliant in his time, and he was the best when he was at Leicester.
He's not 50 years old, man. Come on.
He's not that old.
I think he's too old. I think he's injury prone now.
Ronaldo's
I think his
Ronaldo's
Hold on,
37.
what's his injury
Kay,
record like?
Let
What's his
Timo
injury
finish.
record like? What's his injury record like at Chelsea?
Not that bad. He just plays a
But
lot. of
Rodrigo will know, yeah.
Rodrigo, how injury prone was he at Chelsea? Was he injured a lot?
Not as much lately. No.
Why isn't he playing every game then?
I think the reality is he's falling out. Him and Tuchel are falling out. That's what
That's what I heard. Yeah, I heard they fell out of Tuchel. So
Yeah.
Tuchel
He wasn't even played fully against with Lampard as well.
Yeah,
he
he
got
put-
played
Lampard
by the
got-
next manager.
That boy, he took a bad injury. I mean, he took a bad injury. I want to be the Lampard era, but he came back and they won. He was the best player when they won the Champions League. I'm thinking that I don't know. I'm from what I've heard and I've read, him and Tuchel not seeing eye to eye, and Tuchel can be a pretty blockhead. So I don't know.
Right.
So
Devin.
Kante is 31 years old. He is at the latter end of his career. I mean, it's a tough job being in midfield, especially defensive
He's
midfield.
only just
Yeah.
31.
No, but the thing is, if someone is injured,
31? Come on. No. Ronaldo's 37. Please.
Ronaldo's
it's a CDM
a
job.
different breed. Ronaldo's
you're
on
going to take a
another
lot.
level.
You're going to take a lot.
You gotta remember.
Yeah, but a CDM role is you're going to take a lot of kicks.
37,
hurt.
Ronaldo 37 is still good. But Conte, 31, he's still there. He's still.
I think Kante can still do a great job for another 3 years.
Well, one thing
What if we
forget
buy
is
him
he hasn't-
and then he ends
he
up
hasn't
being
played
another
with-
a Varane or another Edison Cavani? What if we buy him and then he ends up playing 6 games, 7 games a season?
Right.
You gotta remember.
Right, Devin,
He hasn't
let me
played
get
in the
Devin in
Premier
quickly.
League for a
Devin,
long time.
Yes,
you said
yes.
you don't. I heard you shake. I saw you shake your head. No to Kante.
So the reason being right now is what are his wages right now that he's on?
About 200, I suppose.
No.
Rodrigo.
So
I don't keep up with that stuff. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. $200,000, 200,000 euros a week to me is just ridiculous. I don't want to hear that kind of stuff. People are starving. I don't want to hear that.
it's to me it's we're trying to get number one players that fit into Ten Hag's system, and number two we're trying to get away from this thing where we did before where we bought players just because they were marketable and to sell shirts. So if you do this right now, you buy him in, you get at most 2-3 seasons out of him, and then we're in the same dilemma that we're in right now. Meanwhile, we're also blocking some youth that could be a potential prospect from taking that spot as well too. So if we were to take him in, the only way is if he's on much less wages than what he's on at Chelsea. And if you want, you could throw in bonuses there. So if you want to get back to where you were, earn it. But this will be your base will not be as high as it is at Chelsea right now.
Okay. So Kante, you're saying I said Kante. So Devin, you're saying no.
Unless he takes deferred wage, like much less wages.
Vimo, you're saying yes or no?
I'd take him on a free.
Exactly. That's what I was.
I'd take him on a free and pay his wages, and if we get 10 games out of him, that's fine.
Question is this.
Okay, would you take him would you take him at United?
Yeah, I'll take him. And the thing is, because he's 31, he'd probably get, 2-3 year deal? So his wages will go down anyway. They're not going to go up or stay the same. And you got to remember, he's not been in the Premier League for 10, 12 years. So he's still got legs. He's still got running in the legs. If he played in the Premier League since he was 19, 20, then it'd be different. But you got to remember, a player like him, he's not played in the league for that long. So he's still got the energy to run around and get around.
But you know, Kante's key assets was his work rate. That guy would run more than any other player on that pitch. People used to say he was like a little Subbuteo man. You just put him there, put him there. He's everywhere on the pitch. Yeah. So as you get older, you are not going to be able to maintain that work rate. I don't think we're going to see that. I think we've already seen the best of Kante.
Look at Milner. He's 37. He still gets around the pitch.
But he doesn't. He does. But Milner is played into
CDM.
close-out games and.
But that's my point. But look at Kante. There's 6 years between them.
True.
And Milner's never been the quickest.
True.
Yeah, but Milner's a French player.
Kante has been that kind of. He's got a good engine on him. Could run.
The question is,
Milner has never been a runner.
He used to be.
Yeah, Milner's a set piece guy. He takes all the corners, he takes the free kicks, he takes penalties.
He's taking a pay cut to stay again.
The
You
CDM
hear that?
Remember what Milner was like
Can-
at Man City? Before he went to Liverpool, he was a crucial player for Man City. Like, people forget how good he was, Milner, at Man City.
But Kay, do you agree that a CDM is a tough job, tougher than the other midfield
It's
jobs?
the hardest position to play on the pitch.
Exactly.
'Cause you have
And
to be
that's my worry.
disciplined.
Yeah,
Well,
he's
when
going to
Ten
get booted
Hag's
and kicked. He has to clean up all the messes that all the other players leave behind. He has to protect his defenders.
Well, if
That
you
guy
keep
is
the
the hardest
ball-
working player on the pitch, and that's what made him the best at
Yeah.
where he was
I hear
in
what you're
his
saying.
time. In his time.
The question is not money. It's, do you need a player like that, and do you need him for the system of play you have? You know, Xavi, if you look at him, he's getting the players he wants. He says, I got to do something about Piqué. I got to do something about Busquets. You know, they renewed Araujo. He's making the right for the system he wants to play. Do you need that player? Is that a player that Ten Hag could use for his style of play? That's the question. Not if he's cheap, not if he'll take a pay cut. No. Is he needed?
That's
You
true.
guys get this.
Since we don't have a CDM, I would take Kante now. I would. Because end of the day, he still has the engine. I think he'll fit into Ten Hag because he also keeps the ball. I could see Kante taking the ball off the back four and spraying the ball around. I mean, you know, finding Sancho and Rashford and whoever.
I think Ten Hag would do a better job with Conte than Tuchel's doing.
I
What do
think
you
so too. But
I mean,
Bimo, you're saying you only take him on a free.
I think
So in 2019-2020, he had 12 separate injuries. He's now missed 34 games during that season.
Okay.
And that's only 2019-2020. As a player gets older, they wear down a lot more. You've seen that in injuries, they accumulate. They get worse over the years as you get older. So 2019-2020, he's missed 34 games in the season.
That's not a lot.
So Man
That is a lot.
But
And
Man-
38 games in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But one thing is also, Man United's medical staff are some of the best. No, it's always
Yeah,
some of the
but if you've got an ACL or you've got worn-out joints, your the best medical staff
Okay.
can't do
All
anything
right,
for that.
Bimo, let me throw this in the round.
Yeah,
Phil Jones ain't that old. He's always injured.
yeah, he's always injured. I mean, he's got to
looking
maintain.
after
He's got to look after that nursing home desk. You know, it's a hard job.
Do you know one other thing with Kante as well?
Who?
Because he didn't have the vaccination, that's why he didn't go to Australia.
Who?
Kante.
Kante and Loftus-Cheek. That's why they didn't go.
He did a
to Australia.
Djokovic.
Oh God.
So I think that's why he fell out with Lampard as well. Because obviously, I can't remember what manager said it. They were saying like, you got to take that into account now. Players that have got vaccines. I think it was Klopp. So I think that's an issue as well. With
You can't force a vaccination on your player.
You can't,
know?
you can't.
If they don't want to take it, they
No,
can't. They don't have to take
exactly.
it.
Some clubs are trying to though.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair.
No,
If the
it's
player
not.
doesn't, because you don't know, a lot of people do have doubts about the vaccine. If the player doesn't want to take it, you
No,
can't
he
force
doesn't
it.
have to. But,
You have to do it
know,
willingly.
They force them.
Everyone has
as
to do it
in
willingly.
The club's policy emphasizes
Yeah.
you must
Because
take
remember
it.
in Italy, I think Smalling didn't have the vaccine, but in Italy they brought in a law that you have to have at least one vaccine to play. So players are getting forced to take it.
The
So
problem is,
Smalling had to take it.
a lot of people, there's a lot of questions about these vaccines. There's been a lot of ugly side effects and sicknesses, deaths.
So coming out now.
And because there's that doubt, you shouldn't have to force anyone to take a vaccine they have doubts about.
And Barcelona players like, what's his name? Aguero having a heart attack after he had the vaccine, and a few others.
Yeah.
I've had the jab. I'm not anti-vax, but an athlete, you're pushing your body to its limits. And if you're injecting an unknown quantity of medication into your heart or your bloodstream,
Good
you're going to have
livelihood.
doubts. Which is why Djokovic said, I don't fully understand everything they've put into the vaccinations. That's why I
Right.
cannot take it.
Yeah, and I don't blame him.
Oh, they know he had a heart problem. He didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
But athletes had heart conditions or heart attacks after having a jab. I don't know if there's a coincidence there.
Right.
But
He
anyway,
said
who knows?
It gives you inflammation apparently. It can inflame your heart and stuff apparently.
That's on your system. You know what the ingredients in the vaccination could cause you long-term damage also. We don't know that.
We don't know. It's because it's rolled out so quickly. It's untested.
Exactly.
But we're not athletes. These guys push their bodies to the limit. I mean, with athletes apparently
Yeah,
have
they do.
enlarged hearts as
They
well,
do.
which is what Ericsson his heart muscles is very enlarged because they're pushing their heart muscle all the time
Yeah.
with training every day. So when you introduce unknown quantities of certain chemicals, you don't know what reaction it's going to have.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you don't know the reaction.
Yeah. What was that?
Rodrigo,
Yeah.
right. Who are there any player Chelsea are trying to get now that they're still taking them forever? Who are they trying to get now? Who do they need?
I don't know. I don't know. I know they're trying to hold on to Aspilicueta and Marcos. They don't want to sell them to Barcelona. But you know, it just so much. I read so many conflicting reports. You know, they're after this kid from PSV. They're after, you know, a lot of it's just media speculation. But I don't think the people they have in the office now know what they're doing. You know, they wanted Lewandowski, they wanted Koundé, you know, and they've missed on all the transfer targets they missed on. You got to question that, you know.
But yeah, you could question it, but I think it's too early to judge them because they're a new team. It's a new project.
Tuchel's like, well, we need to strengthen the squad. Okay, Tuchel, who do you want? Who do you need? Who do you say you need? Again, it goes back to the coach saying, I need a number 18. I need a number 4. I could really use a number 11. I need a center back. I need a guy on the right flank. We're getting beaten left and right on the right flank. It's up to the coach, and it's up to the club or the sporting director to fulfill the needs of the coach. That's the way I've understood. That's the way I've always understood it. Because the coach is the one that lives or dies from his decisions.
Right.
You know, makes mistakes. The club brings in the player. The coach says, I don't need him. I need a defender, not another striker. I need a midfielder. I don't need a 4th striker. I need someone that can work the midfield. And that's the mistakes that clubs do. They buy players because of their names, or because of
shirts,
or because they some kind of a desperate attempt to be relevant again.
Keep the fans to be quiet.
Pochettino at PSG, bunch of star players just weren't worth the crap when it came down to Champions League. Too many stars, and they ran the show. Who paid the price? Pochettino's not a bad coach, but he was saddled with a bunch of high-name, overpriced, overindulged players. You know, and he didn't buy them. It was Khalifi and Leonardo. Oh, we're going to pack this place with stars because we're PSG. We're Qatar SG. Yeah, well, you know what?
Qatar SG.
The problem with Chelsea, though, the new
Qatar
owner
SG. That's funny. Go on, Kay.
The new owner come in and sacked Marina. She was ruthless, and he's basically trying to be. He's basically trying to be the sports director. So I think people underestimate the sporting director role. Like, look at United. You've got to have the contacts. You've got to know what you're doing. People have got to respect you. And I think that's the problem.
So you had the banker, Ed Woodward. You had the banker.
Richard Arnold, look at them. They went to Barcelona thinking that they'll get the deal done. Barcelona's still saying, "No, you can wait." Like, it's just, yeah.
Barca now have competent people. Man City have competent people. Liverpool have competent people. I think Arsenal now has competent people because they're buying up players they need. Yeah. But again, Ten Hag I believe Ten Hag's a very competent coach. Yeah. It's up to the club to provide him with what he needs for his style of play.
If a coach has said, I want that player.
Not what you guys want. Not what you guys want. No, what he knows he needs.
Exactly. But the clubs like Man United, even Mourinho, Louis van Gaal said, I wanted these players. They look at the price. Now we'll get you the third choice, which is always going to be crap. The quantity, not the quality. Exactly. And you're not going to get the quantity to do the job of a quality because the like having one guy. So you're buying 5 players, and you only needed 1. You needed 2 decent, but they bought you 5. Just numbers who just are not just good enough. They just have players all over the place who just not good enough, and you can't sell them because no one wants them.
But that's part of the reason why Fergie's come back, because he's got the respect. Those guys were learning on the job, so they'll go into a boardroom with other people and they'll be like, "You guys don't know what you're doing. We can tell you this play. Like, we paid more for Dan James than we should have paid for. We paid more for Laney than we should have paid for. We've always overpaid, and that's just because of the sporting directors we've had. So I think Fergie's got that respect and pulling power. So it's basically an admission of they don't know what they're doing or they can't get the job done. Like the fact that Fergie's having to come back because Myrtle and Arnold, they're saying the right things, but they're not really delivering on players that we need.
No, we
They're
have
getting
only
the ones
signed
that
3
are
players.
easy
One
otherwise.
was free, 2 and 1 was
Exactly.
free. So, Vimo, do United are they going to get Anthony?
I think it's too late. Because, when Ajax in the beginning were willing to sell, and I think, Tim, you mentioned this, they were asking, 48 million or something like that for
Yes.
him? So Ajax have sold too many players now, and they probably think that it's going to drastically weaken their team.
Yeah.
So now they want to hold on to what they have.
So they
and
put a
push the
stupid
up.
price.
Yeah.
You,
So we should have acted sooner.
we don't act sooner.
No, and I think it's just this Frankie de Jong thing, pursuing a deal that's not going to most
Sad,
likely
though.
happen.
Really
It's
sad.
just, that's a mistake. They should
Putting all
do
your
things
eggs in
in
one
parallel.
basket.
Talking about Kante very quickly, he's got recurring hamstring injuries. His hamstrings keep failing. They keep getting injured every single season, and a lot of the managers are getting pissed off because they can't rely on him for the big games. He's missing a lot of key games apparently because of his hamstring. And people are saying, the commentators are saying that his body is not taking it. He's not aging well. So stay away from Kante, I think.
Oh,
I think
thank
we
you,
should
Dr.
invest in him.
Vimo. Vimo has just done a
Yeah.
full research.
It depends on the medical staff you have, because a lot of players have
No,
had.
it doesn't.
And yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. Because you get injured, doesn't matter who you've got. You could have, the best doctor in the world. You cannot heal something that's
Leo
that's
Messi-
going to happen naturally.
Leo Messi had that problem in 2006.
Yeah, he did.
As you get older, your body is going to deteriorate, and football does make your body deteriorate.
But you put players like that on a special regimen. It's been
Yeah,
done.
you're right.
I'll
Remember
give-
Ryan Giggs? He had to start doing
Yes, I-
yoga and
No,
swimming.
he Ryan Diggs did yoga for a long time. He took his own plan and
Yeah, but
he looked after
had
himself.
problems with his hamstrings as well.
Javier Sanet Milan played the 42 years old with a torn Achilles tendon. He came back and finished at 42. Paolo Maldini.
You can change your role. You can change your role.
Yeah.
I cannot. You will never have the pace that you had at 25.
No way.
You can have it. Ryan Giggs had a different role as he aged. Pirlo had a
Yes.
different role as he aged.
Yes, Ryan
change
Giggs wasn't
your-
a
you
flying,
change your
he wasn't a
function.
flying winger.
That's why you have a
Yeah.
medical staff to make those calls and make the
You
adjustments.
they manage you. They manage your medical ailments, but you cannot cure things indefinitely.
No, but Kante's not done. He's 31 years old.
He's not done. He's not done, but he's a potential Varane or a Cavani.
He's old. He's no, he's not old. He's 31 years old.
I know he's 31 years. I'll still play football, but what I'm saying is that he probably won't be playing a lot of games.
You can't say that for sure.
No, I can't. But that's a risk. I would say probability, the risk. He's a higher risk now. And if you're in the risk game, you'll understand that he's a more riskier proposition at the moment.
I think his problem is Chelsea is Tuchel. Him and Tuchel not getting along. Maybe it's just his attitude.
Maybe.
A lot of players have bad attitude.
We will just have to wait and see if Tuchel has plans for Kante or somebody's gonna take Kante out of Chelsea. We'll just have to wait and see. Well, the season is about to start in 7 days. United have Chelsea. Do you have any more warm-up games lined up? You must have about 1 or 2 left.
I think so. I don't. They just played Udinese. I think they're coming back to London for another game. I just don't know what it is yet.
Right.
I don't keep up with that stuff in preseason.
Right.
You don't watch the preseason games?
No, not much. No, there's other football to watch instead.
There's other football you watch. Are you like a proper Chelsea fan then, or like?
I follow Chelsea, but I'm just sick. I'm sick of all the hype that goes on in preseason.
Hype.
Preseason, I used
You've
to.
got-
If not, I tell you what, I used to be like Rodrigo. I don't follow preseason because preseason, it just sometimes
I'm sick of
it just.
I'm sick of the
And
hype.
now
but
they
you-
turn preseason into a marketing tool.
No, it is. It is to raise revenue. We absolutely know it's to raise revenue because they've got massive wages to pay. But this preseason was special because it's a new coach
Right.
and we're seeing his new methods.
Right.
I think this was more enjoyable than others.
But I'm just sick of all the hype. There's still because of the World Cup. There's still a lot of official games going on because the World Cup forced a lot of leagues to continue, start early because of this stupid World Cup that's being played in November and December. Right?
Yeah,
That's
worst time.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's going to be 40 degrees over there in Qatar at Christmas.
Who knows? Maybe
How do you play football in 40 degrees? It's too hot.
Yeah, but they said they have the
That's
stadiums
not
are air
conditioned,
conditioned. They said
It's
they got air
humid.
conditioned stadiums.
well, you
But
remember
you see the fans that are at the side of the pitch that are blowing it air.
remember
Yeah.
the lie? You guys remember the lie they promised when they got to World Cup? Oh, it'll be 70 degrees in the stadiums during July. Remember, we had the technology. Remember the lie they told? That all the stadiums will be climate controlled, 70 degrees during July. They promised that. It was a lie. I'm sorry. It's just that technology doesn't exist in the desert.
So the other thing as well, a lot of people are going to be boycotting the Qatar World Cup because of the worker conditions,
Human rights,
all the
yeah.
deaths.
Human
Do you know how
rights.
many, do you know how many people have died over there building those stadiums?
It's like Brazil. It's like Brazil all over again.
People. Over
How much?
9,500 supposed to count.
About 7,000, yeah. From
I heard now it's 9,500. 9,500 to count now, I think.
yeah, I mean that's
Wow.
atrocious. You know, making people work in 50-degree temperatures and having heat stroke and dying, and then covering up, falsifying the death certificates so they don't have to pay out to the families.
Well, I didn't watch.
Absolutely atrocious human rights.
I didn't watch the Chinese soccer Olympics back when China had the Summer Olympics. I didn't watch a game because I thought they should never have gotten it. You know, I'm very much thinking of boycotting watching this tournament for all the reasons. It's been bribed and stolen.
Yeah.
Migrant deaths, the all the lies that have been told from it, and it's like and again, I remember they promised a climate control World Cup in June and July. I remember that,
And it's not going to happen.
and we knew it was going to happen.
It wasn't going to happen, but they so the whole world has to change the league format to accommodate it by bringing it to December and November.
Not just the leagues, all the Champions League, Libertadores Cups, the African Cup of Nations, the Asian Champions League, the African Champions League, all those, everything is now, and now the players aren't going to have much of a rest either, because right after the World Cup,
Straight back.
Exactly. But the FIFA people don't care. They don't care that people can't afford. A lot of people can't afford to go to Qatar. They can't afford a hotel room in Qatar. They can't afford to fly out of Emirates. They don't care. It's sickening. I'm getting sick of the hype. I'm getting sick of all of the corruption. It makes me sad.
It is really sad.
It makes me sad, and I'm very serious. As much as I love Mexico, I may not watch the World Cup. I'm just out of protest because I'm sick of it. It makes my stomach turn. Football is not what it once was to me. It's not.
Right. Okay. As United are playing, United play a game tomorrow. Is that the last one tomorrow? I think they got another fixture during the week.
No, I think this is their last official one. They might do another behind closed doors, but this is the last. This is the first home game that Ten Hag's going to have, and there's already a what's it called, protest that's been arranged. So it'll be interesting to see. This is
Protest for what this time?
Glazers. This was done before the season finished.
Oh God, they are not going anywhere. They are not leaving. They are not planning to leave anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you hear about that consortium looking to take over?
The guy that was
forgotten his. Yeah, no, there's another one. There's another group as well. There's another guy that used to be an old chairman of the club, and he's putting together billionaires and millionaires around the world to put together a consortium to take over. Apart from that guy who's going to buy Chelsea, and they want fans to own the club. Did you hear about that one?
I heard whispers.
That would be good for you guys. I think that would be good because these American owners are bleeding your club. They're bleeding your club.
Yeah, as Case picture shows, right?
You don't want to happen to United what happened to Barcelona.
Nah, I wouldn't want United to be in the Barcelona position. That is just ridiculous. And United players, most of them are too greedy to take pay cuts. Can you imagine telling Rashford and his crew to take a pay cut? I ain't taking no pay cut.
They all took a pay cut, didn't they? Because we didn't finish in the Champions League, 25% pay cuts.
No, Jesus.
Here we go. His name is Michael Knighton.
Oh, him! He wanted to buy the club back in the early 80s.
Yeah, and now because he doesn't have the money to do it. Sorry, go on, Tim.
Yeah, Michael Knighton. I remember him as a kid. He came onto the field, jogging the ball in the air, had his shorts and a classic, there's now a retro tracksuit top. He wanted to buy the club, but it all went wrong. And
so he wanted to buy the club 30 years ago.
yes,
And now he's come back into the fold, and he's assembling. He's going to be the main spokesperson to assemble a group of millionaires and billionaires,
wow.
and then offer the Glazers around 4 billion for the club.
Avengers assemble.
Wanted to buy it.
Avengers assemble.
Rupert Murdoch wanted to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that won't be bad. That won't be bad if we have a consortium and buy the Glazers out. But but he is a United fan. Michael Knighton is a United fan.
Yeah.
So the mentality is different. People who are fan is Chelsea is the new owner. Is he United? Is he a Chelsea fan?
Dodgers owner. What do these Americans know about football? Come on. Come on. He's in it for all the rest of all the American owners are now.
Business and money.
Well, the clubs that had owners who were fans were Inter Milan when they had Moratti. Him and his family were diehard Inter fans. Berlusconi, when he owned Milan, he was
Diehard Milan fan.
AC Milan, right? There's very few clubs where the owners they bleed the colors of their club.
Who owns AC Milan now?
Just like Inter, some Taiwanese guy or some Chinese guys, they're owned by foreigners.
It's just messed up.
Roma's owned by a guy here in Houston,
Damn.
car dealership owner.
Car dealership owner.
Is he a Roma fan? I doubt it. They all say, it's like, it's like I laugh. I can't help but to laugh this. I'm sorry. I don't know how you guys feel about JJ Watt. Oh, JJ Watt's a Chelsea fan. Oh, JJ Watt, he loves Barcelona. Oh, JJ Watt loves.
Please.
It's the same thing.
It's messed up, mate. JJ he's a NFL football player. Hey, man, please, that guy doesn't even follow soccer.
He was like, he was at the Barcelona practice. He loved Messi. He loved Barcelona. Then he was a Chelsea shirt. I love Chelsea. Then he was in United. I love United. Come on. It's the same. The best owners are the ones who leave the colors of the team because they'll always.
Here we go. So Glazers said they would sell the club for the right price. And Michael Knighton's key investor in this consortium is Jim Ratcliffe, who's worth hundreds of billions, apparently.
Yeah, Ratcliffe. That's the guy that was going to buy Chelsea.
Yeah. So that's the one.
So this guy just looking for clubs to buy.
Yeah, but it's Michael Knighton who's approached him to say, look, we want you on board, and with other investors. Yeah.
Ratcliffe offered to buy it from the Glazers before, and the Glazers said it's not for sale.
Really?
Right. Yeah. So it'd be great because Michael Knighton is doing a comeback from 30 years ago when he failed. He wanted to buy it at the time. I think at the time was about 2 million. No, I don't know how much he wanted to do. It was
2 billion. The thing is, the share price of Man United is not great, and now is a good time to buy. And the Glazers know that they're losing a lot of money because of the share price, and also all the attacks on the sponsors, which is put together by all of these other groups. So they're putting a lot of pressure on the business, and it is making the Glazers reconsider.
What's causing this also is a lot of debt. United was one of the clubs in the world that had no debt at one time.
No debt.
Yeah.
And now the Glazers have leveraged that. They've used that money for their own whatever business.
It was a leveraged buyout. So they used the club's own asset to buy itself, which is nicely put together by their main man Woodward, which is why he was rewarded with the keys to the club.
Alex Ferguson had a big part of that one also. He was the cheerleader. He got some money out of that too. He must
have got something.
He's partial to blame for that too. And I love Alex Ferguson. I'm not saying I admire the guy. One of the best coaches ever.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't know. I don't know how much involvement he had, but it was Edward who brokered the deal.
Do you think Ferguson had the vote? What had the hand was when the
he would have been aware of it.
Yeah, and he must have got a few.
Yeah, but you can't stop it. You can't stop something like that. He's a manager.
Go on, Kay, go on.
He fell out with the original owners over the racehorse. Remember the red rum horse?
Yes,
and that's why
the Irish guys.
He was meant to have a percentage in the shares of that horse, and the old owner said, "No, you only get." I don't know. I think he basically did a gentleman's agreement with a handshake, and he basically bumped him. And this is why the Glazers took this opportunity to come in and buy the club. So Ferguson was thinking, I can make some money out of this, basically.
Oh, he did. He did. That's just the way.
Who did he have a fallout with?
two Irish guys. They own the horse together. Three of them own the horse.
Red Rum.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
That racehorse he was involved in. And, it's just what it is. It's people fall out over greed or they don't agree with the sun coming up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't know. It's just this.
Well, gentlemen, till next week. This time next week, 50% of the Premiership games will have played. Chelsea will have played. We will be playing. So we will be having another. Next week, I plan to see if I could get as much fans on this one. I'm trying to get Tottenham and Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
Yeah, get some more fans instead of just you guys, man. Come on. Get more non-United fans on board. I'm the only normal guy here.
You're the only normal guy. You know, every insane person in the world thinks they're sane. Did you know that?
Of course.
Right. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. We shall continue. Man United have a watch along, have a game tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes out. So, yes, we can only but hope next week the season is right here. And are the teams ready to go? Only time will tell. Like Rodrigo says, we can only see what happens when the whistle goes off. It's time to play. Right, gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure again. Rodrigo, thank you for joining us.
You guys.
The London crew, Bimo and Kay, thank you for your time. We got a game tomorrow. I think Chelsea probably have one more game during the week. I believe Chelsea have a game during the week. But United, I think the remaining games are just going to be behind closed doors.
They're playing the Dodgers, I think.
Yeah.
They're playing the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
Are they playing baseball?
Well, the owners are baseball. Dodgers, so why not?
Yeah, sorry. The racehorse. It wasn't Red Rum. It was Rock of Gibraltar.
Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right. That was what Ferguson and Dave had a public fallout. It was really
like 20
big.
years ago. That was like 20 years ago.
Already 20 years. See how time goes.
See biscuit.
It is what it is. Gentlemen, thank you again. Thank you, the London crew, Kay and Vimo. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate you guys. See you guys next week. We'll try and get one on Saturday, either before the league games start. The Premiership games start 3 o'clock on Saturday. Or they're different times, or they all start on Saturday 3 o'clock. Or
there's no games on Friday?
Are there any games on Friday?
Start of the season, they'll all be the same kickoff, I think.
Yeah, on Saturday, opening day, don't they all start at the same time?
This is the first game. I think they'll start.
First game, Arsenal and Crystal Palace on Friday.
Oh, geez. This is all this nonsense. I hate all that.
TV rights. It's all TV rights.
Yeah, because of TV viewing. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
who's got the rights to the TV this year? Is it BT or Amazon?
I think it's Sky Sports, BT, and a bit of Amazon as well, like last season.
Like NBC show all the Premiership games out here. They've got all the rights for the next 5 years.
NBC have full rights.
Yes.
Premier League.
Yeah,
Wow.
they show all the games.
What, next year or this season?
No,
This season.
NBC have been showing it in US since 2013, mate.
They have a 5-year contract.
They got another 5 years.
You don't get everything over there anyway.
Yeah,
you don't get all the sports over there.
Yeah, NBC. They show all the Premiership games.
Here, man.
That's why they created Paramount, that app, Paramount.
And Peacock. Yeah. So
What's
they're trying to,
Peacock?
it's another station, a sister station to NBC, whereby if NBC is showing a game, you have to go and subscribe and pay for Peacock as another channel to be watching other games. So they put some games on NBC, then they put the Man United, the big games slightly on Peacock. So you have to, it's just money.
So you guys in America could end up spending what, $200-300? I don't
watch
know,
all the games. But they
$100
show
a
all the
month
games. All the games
for
are
your
available on
TV
the
packages.
In the 90s, we had what's called pay-per-view.
Yeah.
In America. Back then, all these games, you want to watch them, you got, Setanta Sports, whatever, you went to a bar and paid because the bar had to pay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now we're coming back to this. Now it's Peacock, Paramount, whatever. So now we're having to pay to watch the sport again.
Yeah. That's the way the world's going. Everything's becoming subscription.
Yeah, but remember, in the 90s, it was only Sky that used to show football, remember?
That's
it was only Sky
Murdoch,
in London. Yeah, Murdoch was just Sky bought everything. They took it on BBC back in the day.
But he was going to buy Man United, but because of the conflict with Sky, he said no, he couldn't buy it. And then the Glazers looked in and took it.
But then Setanta Sports came in also, remember?
I remember Setanta Sports. I remember them.
The Irish. The Irish company.
Yeah.
Remember the special one?
Yeah.
Special one, the Muppet with Mourinho and Alex Ferguson and Rooney and
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
God.
So we shall see you guys again next week. We wish any team that plays, I mean, Arsenal and Crystal Palace, that's a local derby on Friday. I'll probably check that one out, but we'll see. But we'll have our next one on the whole fan one, hopefully on Saturday. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a nice week. I'll catch up with you guys during the week. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
guys.
See you guys. Take care and God bless. We're out of here. Thank you.
Have a good evening. Take care,
Oh, you
guys.
too, mate.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.